Hello guys, welcome to my channel again. Today I'm going to show you how to draft a shawl collar, and by shawl collar this is what I mean, right? So at the end of the day, this is what we are going to be drafting. So if this is something you're interested in learning, stick with me till the end of this tutorial. Let's get started. Alright, so what we'll be doing first of all is to mark 2.5 inches at the beginning of our fabric, 2.5 inch like this. Well, if you are drafting it on a fabric, the same thing I'm doing on this paper is what you'll be doing on your fabric. So in case you are transferring it from your drafting paper to your fabric, so don't add any allowance, just cut it exactly, okay? So the next thing we'll be doing is to mark 5 inches at the top like this. So you just draw your line, okay? So this 5 inches at the top is to give us space for the shawl collar, because you know it's going around. So we give 5 inches at the top, and then at the side, at the beginning here, we mark 2.5 inches. So that's what I've done so far. So the next thing, we're going to get the width of our box frame. So this is the formula for getting the width of the box frame, and based on our measurements, our width is 29.5. so you can just pause that and go through it so that you can see it very well. You can always pause and revisit it, okay? So the width of this box frame is 29.5 because our chest is 45 here, 45, okay? So the length of the box frame, this is how to get the length of the box frame, and as usual you can pause it and go over it. So this is how I got mine, and this is how you should do it as well. So the length of this suit is 32 plus 1.5 is going to give us 33.5. so that's 33.5 there, and then we'll add 2 inches, which will give us 35.5. yes, 35.5. so that's that. So I'll do the same thing all through, 33.5, 35.5, all through like that. So I'll just roll the both lines. So the 2 inches I added at the end is for the folding allowance. So that is how we got the width, and that's how we got the length, okay? You can always pause, revisit, and come back. So the next one we're going to get is our bust line or chest line. So to get the chest line, you're going to use your bicep or your muscle. You divide the muscle by 2, and then you add 2 inches to it. In this case, our muscle is 16, and then our chest line at the end of the calculation is 10, okay? Our chest line is 16 divided by 2, you're going to have 8, and then you add 2 inches to 8, you're going to have 10, and that's how I got my 10, okay? So that's that. So the next thing I'm going to do is to get the neck of the back, but before that we are going to mark out a 1/4 inch, that's 0.25, and then I'm going to rule a line. You're going to see the reason why I'm doing it, okay? So that's that. So I'm going to mark, you can either mark 1 inch or 3/4 inch. In this case I'm using 3/4 inch, okay? And then the width of my neck is starting from that 0.25 inch, that's 3.5, and this 3.5 is not a constant. To get the accurate width of your width of the neck of your customer, you divide the neck by 5, whatever you have, that's the width of your neck at the back, and then in this case is 3.5, okay? And then from that same point of 0.25, you're going to get your shoulder. In this case our shoulder is 19 divided by 2 is 9.5, and then you add 0.5 to it, that's half, and it's going to give me 10, and then I go down by 2.5. This 2.5 is a constant for a matured suit. If you're sewing for a child, it's a different ball game completely. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to measure just the neck, just the shoulder, starting from the neck, which is going to give me 7 in this case. You see it's 7, so I'm going to put that in mind, 7 inches. Please mind you, all my measurements are in inches, not in centimeters. I use inches all through my measurement, okay? So my shoulder, remember the width of the back neck is 3.5, so we are going to add 1.5 to whatever we have as the width of the neck. In this case is 5, that is 3.5 plus 1.5 will give me 5, that's 3.5 plus 1.5 will give me 5. Okay, that's how I got my 5 here. That's the width of my front neck. So I'm just going to rule it downwards, and remember the back shoulder was 7, so you're going to subtract half inch from 7 to give you 6.5. so the same thing we did to the neck, we're just going to rule it down That's 6.5, right? Please take note. Remember, the first line is 2.5, then we have 5, which is the neck, then we have 6.5, which is the shoulder. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking out ½ inch from the front pattern of our suit, and then from that ½ inch is where our measurement is going to start. So I'm going to add 2.5. Remember, the shoulder slant of the back is 2.5. Also, the shoulder slant of the front is going to be 2.5. That's after taking out our ½ inch at the top. So 2.5. So just follow me. So you see, when it's straight is 6.5 as compared to the back, but when we slant, it's going to give us back our 7. So you can see our 7 now rhymes with the 7 at the back. Straight line, when you measure it straight, 6.5, but when you slant it, it's going to give you a 7 like magic, right? So the next one we're going to have is our half length, which is 17. So you're going to add ½ inch to your half length, which is 17.5. So you're going to measure it from this line, which will give us 8.25, I mean. So that's that. So on this part, we're going to measure 1 inch. So 1 inch. So from that 1 inch, we're going to slant it to get to the bottom there, like this, and then we'll slant it as well. So before we do that, whatever is remaining from our bust line to the neck there, we divide it by 2. You can see that, just divide it by 2, get the middle point, whatever you have. So you're going to join it to that point there, like this, and then from that point to slant it again to your 0.25 mark we drew earlier. You see it? Okay. So the next thing, on this point, we are going to measure our shoulder, which is 9.5. This time around without any allowance, just exactly 9.5. Then you go up by 1. Before then, remember I went in by half. I didn't mention that. So we slant it. We draw the line like this. So the next thing, we are going to get the down part. The down part, we are going to divide our shoulder again by 2, which is 9.5, and then you subtract ½ inch, which will give us 9. Okay, so that's that. So to get the tummy part, the back part of the tummy, we divide the tummy by 6. In this case, our tummy is 44, divided by 6, we get 7.3333. So I just approximated it to 7.5. So that's what I'm going to use. So 7.5, and then you add ½ inch for seaming allowance. That will give me 8. That's it, 8 inches. And then I connect it like this, and then I connect it to the down as well. So this is my back pattern. So on this part, I'm going to mark 3 inches, and then we divide 3 inches by 2, 1.5 on each part. I know I'm going so fast, but you can always pause and revisit it. Okay, if you have any question, leave your question in the comment section. I will try my best to reply everybody. So far so good. This is what we've gotten to. So now we are going to have our tummy part of the front. So we are going to come out by 1 inch like this. The reason I'm coming out by 1 inch is because the guy's tummy is actually big and it's almost the same with the chest. So I come out by 1 inch. So remember, the tummy of the back was 7.5, so I put it on that point, and then I take my tape back, and then I divide the tummy, which is 44, I divide it by 2, and then I add 2 inches. That was how I got that mark. And then remember, at the back we subtracted 3 inches at the bottom. Here also we subtract 3 inches, and then we go in by half, just like we did to the back, and then we come up by 1 inch as well. So I just joined the 3 lines, these 2 and then these ones as well. So that was how I got that line as well. Okay, so the next, I'm going to measure my slit, which is 11.5. This is not a constant, depending on how long you want your slit to be. So 11.5, and then you rule your line like this. See it? So this is 1.5, here is 1.5. So I'm going to do the same thing here, 1.5 here and 1.5 here, and then I connect the two lines, or the three marks, I mean. So that's that. So what I'll do next is to get the armhole of the front pattern. Okay, so I'm going to go down by 2 inches. This 2 inches is a constant for any size of an adult suit. So you go in by 2 inches on both sides, and then you connect this to that part, and then you create your cuff here using your armhole cuff. I advise always that you have this armhole cuff. However, if you don't have it, you can always use your free hand, but for the sake of accuracy, I advise you have it. Okay, so that's that. So the next thing is, remember, this is where our button is going to be outside because of the guy's tummy is quite big compared to his chest. Okay, if he was slimmer, it will be inside like this. Okay, so that's that. So what we are going to do now is to create a curve at the bottom with our curve. Okay guys, if you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. If this is your first time visiting this channel, just hit the subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. So at this point, we are going to go down with 1 inch. You can see it, 1 inch, and then you create a curve like this. You can see the curve I created with my curve. So that's that. So the next thing is I'm going to connect, mark 3/4 inch at this point, and then I'll connect it with a straight ruler. The reason why I'm using this ruler is because the white one is far from me, so there's no need for you to panic and start thinking I don't have this. No, so this is the ruler I should have used. Okay, a normal ruler would work. So on this point I'm going to mark 0.25. so you can see at the end of the day everything here is 1 inch. So I'm just going to mark 1 inch at the top as well, and then I'm going to rule a straight line like this. So that's where my lapel is going to start from. So the next thing is, depending on how big you want your lapel to be, I want mine to be just 3.5 inch, and I recommend 3.5 inch. But if you want it to be bigger or slimmer, you can always alter it. It's not a final, it's not a constant. You know what I mean? So that's that. So to get your lapel, I always use this trick. First of all, cut it this way. I take out the curve from this point like this, and then I fold it on this line. This is the line where I'm going to fold it when I'm ironing. So I fold it as if I've already sewn the suit, so that I can see the shape my lapel is going to have at the end of the day. So you can see, if you want your lapel to be fatter, that 2.5 I added at the beginning, you should add more than 2.5. I mean, if you want it to be slimmer, you can reduce it from 2.5 to like maybe 2 or 1.5. Okay, so that 2.5 at the beginning is not a constant as well. That's what I mean. So you can see the way I'm getting the shape of my lapel. So I want that part to be curved. So that's that. So what I'll do, I'm just going to cut out these parts, and I'll create my curve, and this is how to get the lapel. You can see how easy this is. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut it out like this, and I'll cut my shoulder. Okay, so what I'll do next, I'm going to fold it this way and bend it the way it will look like when I'm done sewing it. Okay, so this is how I do. Just look at what I'm doing and do it exactly. So I'm just going to rule a line from the end of that lapel like this, and then I'll trim it off. You can see, so when you join both parts, it's going to just give you a seamless curve at the back. You understand? So that's how to go about it. If you don't do it this way, it's going to give you some sort of puff at the back neck. Okay, so what I do next, I'll mark 1/2 inch here, and then here I'll mark 1.5, and then I'll connect the 2 points like this. Connect the 2 points like this. Then for the pocket, side pocket, I'm using 20 inches here. This is not a constant. If you are sewing a shorter suit, of course it will not be up to 20. If you are sewing a longer suit, it will be more than 20. So it's not a constant. Okay, so this is my pocket. This is where my pocket is going to fall on. So I'm going to fold my tape. That's I'm folding 0.25, that's 3/4 into 2, and I'll put each of the 0.25 on each part of that line to get this fish eye dots. Okay, so what I'm trying to get now is my chest pocket, and the chest pocket I try as much as possible to just centralize it where in such a way that it's not hidden under our lapel and it's not so close to my armhole. So whatever I'm doing here is not a constant. I just try to make it to be somewhere in the middle. So in this case I marked 2 inches there, and here I marked 4 inches. So the pocket is always 4 inches. Okay, and then the middle is 2, as you can see. So I try to avoid it getting so close to that fold, that where that line is. Okay, and as well it shouldn't get so close to the armhole. So what I do is I just create a straight line from that 2 inches mark. That's the middle of the pocket, which is 4 inch, like this. You can see it. That's the middle of the pocket, and then I mark 3.5 inch here, and then on this part I mark half inch. I want it to be half inch, so it's going to be 1/4 inch on both sides. That's 0.25 inch on both sides. That's 5 inch at the end of the day. So you can see it, and then I create another fish eye dart at the middle like this. All this dart is to give it shape. You understand? It's to give your suit shape. So that's that basically. So I'll just go ahead and cut out my suit. Okay, so this is just the drafting part. If you're interested in learning how to sew a shawl collar suit, you should send me a message on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is on the description of this video. You can send me a message to enroll in the class. The class is starting January 2024, so you can just message me and enroll. Okay, so that's how I notch this point. This point is where I'm going to start fixing my sleeve. When you enroll, you understand what I mean by all this. Okay, so this is my side piece, and then that is my front piece. So let me just indicate. So this is my front piece, this is my side piece. Okay, if you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. So this is my, and then this is my back piece. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out like this. So when I'm cutting the back, I'm going to cut out leaving up to 1 inch at the back. You can see it. I'm not cutting on the line exactly because I'm going to be sewing on the line, so I need to give an allowance at the back for seaming allowance. Okay, so this is my back piece. Let me label it. This is my back piece. This is my side piece, and then this is my front piece. So you can see how it is to cut a shawl collar suit. Is quite easy. So I'm just going to use a tape to hold it together so that I can measure my armhole. So what I'll do here, I'm going to mark half inch for seaming allowance, and also mark half inch here for seaming allowance. Okay, so I'm going to measure the armhole round, starting from that half inch at the back, and it will end at the half inch at the front. So you can see it. I'll just go ahead and measure it like this, and I'm sure you saw how I placed it. I made sure both the back piece, the middle piece, and the front piece overlapped each other with half. So at the end of the day, my armhole was 23.25. I'm going to put this number aside because I will need it when I'm drafting the sleeve. So I'm going to try to drop the sleeve pattern how to drop the sleeve pattern. Even though I already have it on this channel, but I'm going to drop it again. How to draft the sleeve pattern. I'm going to drop it hopefully before the end of this year. So this will be the last video for the year for me, and then we'll resume again by next year. So this is the that's the facing of the front that I'm trying to cut now. So you can see it gets to the end of the bottom of the front pattern. So I'm just going to cut it this way. However, when you get to the top, it should it should pass the top like this. Like when you measure cut it like this, it should pass the top with like 1 inch like this, and here also should pass with 1 inch, and then the shoulder also should pass it with 1 inch. So let me just go ahead and do it so that you understand what I mean. So you see the shoulder also should pass with 1 inch, and then it should end like this, and here also should pass with 1 inch. So let me just go ahead and do it so that you understand what I mean. So you see it, that's what I mean. I hope you get the point. So this is all about it. If you gain something by this tutorial, just leave the thumbs up button, comment in the comment section, just tell me well done. Thank you so much. See you in the next tutorial. Have a great day.